Heyo, and welcome back to Pokemon Y. We've done our first mission for Looker, and we're gonna actually start getting some worthwhile ones now that aren't just wandering around aimlessly looking for tickets. So, to start with, I am going to make my way to the Pokemon Center. It would probably have been quicker to walk, honestly, than let that animation play. But I want to stock up my team a little bit using some Pokemon that we've caught recently, if you catch my drift. Let's see who we have here who I can power up myself for some NPC battles with. Maybe Zygarde?
Yeah, I don't think this is quite the job for the Pokemon of balance, but...
Well, Mewtwo can join him, and Articuno, and it'll be like a perfectly balanced team to take on a few NPC trainers.
One that creates severe blizzards, one that's considered one of the most powerful Pokemon to ever exist, created from the originator of the majority of the Pokemon world, and the Pokemon of life and death balance.
Yep. And to start with, I am giving the Mewtwo X. So we'll start off with that, and then later on we'll show off the bottle opener. But yeah, what you essentially have to do is, I think you have to kill a bit of time before Looker calls you for the next mission. So I'm just going to ride around for a while until I get the call. And it's not quite as bad on the bike when you're just in that circular bit, but then you get to here, and what does he want now? And man, I wish they'd actually made a 3D model for Looker Flays, because this feels a little bit lazy. Like, given it is one of the main side quests that you can do, it's not just like a little bonus thing off to the side. I kind of wish they got a Looker one, although by the same token,
maybe it's in the vein of Apple, where it's like, yeah, he hasn't got the latest model of the Holocaster, so he doesn't have that feature yet.
Yeah, although to be fair, if he is international police, he might want to keep his identity on the down low. So that's a convenient excuse for them not to make a model.
There is some interesting details about Looker that are brought up in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which are then later elaborated on in some way in Sun Moon. If I recall correctly, in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, you find him on the island where the Battle Frontier is meant to be.
Yeah.
And you find him passed out on a beach, and he can't remember his name.
Yeah, that is... Bear in mind that is essentially a prequel to this.
To X and Y, yeah.
So, the implication there, going by his Sun and Moon appearance, is that he's a Fooler.
Yes, and this is brought up by, I forget her name, but she was in Gen 3 and in...
Yes, Annabelle,
yes. I did think it was that, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, Annabelle shows up and she's working for the International Police, and she reveals that she's a Fooler, and then goes on to explain that she is from a parallel universe where Mega Evolution didn't exist, and when she woke up in the Mega Evolution world, she also suffered from the same symptoms as Looker.
Yeah, so it's kind of implied that there are these universes that are linked, and the other universe is the pre-remake era. And so she's Annabelle, the actual one from Emerald, but she's fallen into the post X and Y universe.
Yeah.
I love that there's a fucking Pokemon multiverse.
Yeah, it's like some people say it's stupid, but I just think, who cares?
I like it. I like the fact that there is this huge. It's just more world building, isn't it? It's the fact that there's so much going on, and the fact that it then ties in and to the original universe as well.
Yeah.
And especially the way the Delta episode kind of flirts with it. The idea about there could be this other universe, and
yes, because when there's a meteor heading towards Earth, they create a cannon to destroy it. Well, I say destroy it, it's to send it to another universe. And this cannon is called the link cable.
Yes. Subtle egg.
Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so when we're playing any other game and when we were playing Red and Blue and we used the link cable, we were actually firing up a devastating weapon of mass destruction just so I could trade my Haunter to get a Gengar.
Well, essentially, it kind of was a trade in a way. Like, the new universe was sending a meteor as a trade for the enemy team leaders that will show up in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
God's sake.
Like, it works out though. Like, that is another thing. I will say I haven't seen all of the post game bonus stuff from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I have seen the Rainbow Rocket stuff, and that I will say it's kind of cool in concept. The fact that it's bringing everyone together. It is fan fiction as well.
Oh yes,
absolutely.
All of the villains that are brought in, they're all villains that have won in their timelines.
Yeah. So ultimately, that might imply that there's a third universe, because the original universes they didn't win. So how many are there out there?
They've been multiverse, so you can only... It's like you can either assume that there's 3 universes or there's infinite.
Let's talk about parallel dimensions.
Or you can think of the void that's in between where the Ultra Beasts reside.
Yeah, theirs was something separate though, wasn't it? For going through the wormhole and finding wherever the fuck they come from.
It's in the ultra space, which is sort of the gap between the realities.
Which, it's weird. Was that developed more in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? I think it was, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, because you got the Ultra Megapolis or whatever it's called. It's something like that. I think that might actually be its name.
And so this is just what that sounds like to me. Is in I think it's Sonic Chaos. There's a level called Gigalopolis Zone, and I stumble over that so often.
Apparently, it is just a corridor. So
yeah. Well, speaking of corridors, we've got a corridor here of little kids who we're sending our legendary Pokemon out against.
So one of my favourite screenshots I have seen from Sword and Shield is from the Battle Tower, I think. And there's a little child dressed up as Pikachu, and he says that he has abandoned his family and his livelihood for the sake of battling Pokemon.
I've seen that. I've also seen one that's like the little girl in the Eevee suit talking about how she's been doing that for 20 years.
I haven't seen that one.
It's like, do you just not age as a trainer?
Logic.
Although, to be fair, Ash has been 10 for...
maybe that's a jab at that.
Yeah, who knows, it might be some weird time inside the time thing. People age differently in the Pokemon universe. Although Red and Blue grew up, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. What's going on here on this mission is that there's being rumours of some stuff going on in the back alleys, and that's where Lucas sent us to go investigate. Which, again, that's why I'm murdering the small children's team with my legendaries. But
small children with level 53 Rapidash.
Yeah, it is a little bit boosted, but then this is the post game. They can give them fucking level 10.
Hang on a minute, don't you have any badges?
No, me and my horsey go and play every day, and we've developed so much experience from that.
Yeah, what game do you play?
Oh, we just set fire to the neighbour's house every day. Let's have some Mewtwo action against this Leavanny. Not the best matchup in the world, but it's neutral. It'll do the job. I forgot that Mewtwo had pressure.
Yeah, most legendaries do.
Yeah, it's fair, I guess. Does Mewtwo have a second ability it can get?
I think so. I'm not sure. And I like the fact that you Mega Evolve and make it use Psychic, even though I'm pretty sure Mega Mewtwo X doesn't boost its Psychic, its special attack.
I don't know. I know that it's Psychic and Fighting type when it's just Mega, so...
It's like it gets the highest attack stat in the game. You know, excluding Mega Mawile, who has huge power to make that the actual strongest.
Okay, so Chris, opinions on Mega Mewtwo X here?
Yeah, I prefer the Y version.
The bottle opener.
The bottle opener.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, yeah.
Like just pull a bottle cap off with its head.
Mega Rayquaza sort of. Is that a bottle opener as well?
Kind of, yeah. I've seen that done.
Oh, I haven't. No.
Because it's got the massive
Sort of looks like
it's got those sort of pincers at the front of its face.
Oh yeah, I can
say
picture it.
pincers, but it's sort of in that shape.
Just like extra weird features sticking
It
up the
looks
front of
cool.
his face.
I never knew about Mewtwo's original design though. He's got like a thing connecting his head to his
to
his
it's like
body.
an umbilical cord
Can
in
he
a
look
way.
down then?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. But...
Yeah, he has to like bend his waist if he wants to just look down.
Yeah, innit?
I don't know, it must be kind of impractical, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm assuming that's to imply it's got boosted brain power in a way, so...
It's got boosted brain power from the extra brain on its neck.
Yes.
I don't know, because Mewtwo's had a few different variants on it. Like, you got the armoured Mewtwo from the film, you got the armoured Mewtwo from the new film, you got the Mewtwo that has a really feminine voice in the newer film.
You got Mecha Mewtwo from the play. Musical stage play.
I've actually heard some of the songs off the soundtrack from that. The performances are not bad, honestly. Like, they are like adaptations of the songs like from the anime and from the To Be a Master album, but the performances, they're really not bad. Like, you would expect the Pokemon musicals to be like fucking terrible, but like the music at least is fine. There's also another very obscure musical that I've listened to the music from, the Sonic Live in Sydney musical from the 90s. That again, there's a soundtrack album out there floating around.
Oh no.
And that has also got some actually good music, even if the songs are like Sonic dissing Eggman and stuff like that.
Oh, why look, it's an Esper that's not at all looking threatening.
No, it's there, it was doing its thing. No, but this is one of the other characters we'll meet throughout the Luca side quests here. This is Emma. And she's been living in this back alley with the other kids and the weird Esper thing that I never really grew to like Esper. It's just like, I get the whole appeal of it.
There's one episode in X and Y where Esper does show up, and it does look creepy at first, but then they turn it cute, and it's actually cute.
Oh, right.
It's like it smiles and everything. It's like, oh. Now I don't feel like you want to steal my soul.
Well, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
But like this other little kid we just fought also out of Spiritomb. Like, I feel like there might be some fucked up shit going on down there.
Oh yeah, since playing Sword, I did capture Galarian Yamask.
Oh, right.
And it's like, I found out what happens with why it's carrying that stone rune.
Go on.
Turns out that rune is possessed, and it's like the Yamask was a separate Pokemon, but then the rune took control of the Yamask.
Okay, so it's like a Wobbuffet sort of thing, where like that's the brain.
Yeah, and adding on the fact that Yamask's original Pokédex entry states that it used to be a human. So this is a person who is currently under no control of their body, who is already dead, and is now under the current possession of another spirit. And if we're adding on the fact that this Yamask is meant to lose 49 of his health, and this is supposedly a reference to sacrifice, and you take it to a place where it is to be sacrificed to be evolved into Runerigus, I can only assume that the human spirit has now been destroyed destroyed so that the spirit enveloping the slab can become even more powerful.
It's like them Chinese dolls where there's a soul in a soul in a soul.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like Yamask moving along, moping because it's dead, and it's looking at its mask, and then suddenly finds a slab on the floor, picks it up, the slab takes control, makes it drop its face, so it loses that forever, and then the slab is like, I'm going to hurt this body, take it to a place, sacrifice it, and then I'll be at full power now.
Worth it.
That is one of the darkest things I have seen in all of Pokemon.
Even more so than the guy in the old chateau who somehow managed to poison all his fucking stuff.
Yes, that is incredibly dark, but at least their souls exist, whereas the Yamask soul gets killed.
But then it
gets
peace.
Double killed.
Yeah, but that means it's at peace, whereas the poisoned one people still roam the building.
I guess, but we can only assume it's at peace.
Well, I mean, like, otherwise it's going to be just sort of floating aimlessly.
Exactly.
Cool.
I mean, considering the fact that this spirit has possessed the Yamask, I assume it's not giving it any mercy.
They might just be using it as some sort of conduit or something.
It is messed up.
I've never been a ghost. I don't know how this works.
I mean, the girl who gets killed by a Darkrai.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another ghost girl in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? The one who asked you to deliver the letter.
Yeah, she's outside this place in Hammerlock. It looks like a church or an old school in a way. But yeah, she asks you to deliver a letter to someone she used to have a crush on. And the letter happens to be old, mysteriously.
Yeah.
You then go to the fairy type town and you meet the guy and he's a grandfather.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is from a girl that I used to know when I was a little boy. She said she was very ill and we had a fight and we fell out. How is she now? And you can either respond with, she's doing fine, or ...
Yeah, something's up here.
Yeah. And then when you go back, she's gone, and if you interact with the spot she was at, you find a Reaper cloth, and then you hear her say thank you. So, and the Reaper cloth, considering the fact that that is meant to be used to evolve Dusclops into Dusknoir, was she taken by a Dusknoir?
Well, like...
or perhaps she was just at peace.
No, now she's been taken away by a Yamask.
Oh dear. No, it's not Yamask that took...
Well,
she picked up a slab.
Yeah, well, unless it was a fiery slab from the Scorch slab, it all adds up and comes together, doesn't it?
Not really.
I know. I'm bullshitting.
I
know. So now we've got Emma back from the back alleys, and Luca is letting her live here in the office, I guess, so that she's not on the streets anymore. So, yeah, we've got her spooky little Esper here that's going to keep everything moving along nicely. No haunting, please. What type is Esper? It's just psychic.
It's just psychic,
yeah.
Imagine if it was one of those Pokemon that sleeps with its eyes open.
That would be amazing, actually. I like Luca's theme, the gentle melody that plays when you get to these ending sequences.
At least they chose to emulate one of the better Doctors.
Yes, go on, get it out of the way.
Well, that's it. It's David Tennant.
Basically.
Come on, it is.
I'll let you have that one. I know you hate the new series because it's got a woman in it.
Not true. I actually quite like her Doctor. It's the writing that's terrible.
Yes.
It's the fact that everything she does in the series, like it's more to do with the companions than her. the fact that they just sort of treat her like she's absolutely amazing. They follow everything she does. And yes, everything does work out in the end. But I find that to be a bit of a flaw, because like the previous Doctors, they had a lot of problems go on. Their companions, while yes, they got on with them, their companions had voices of their own.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you're mad that she doesn't stay in the kitchen and make sandwiches. I get it, Stephen.
You're a bad person.
I just know what you're like, you fucking toxic fan.
Just end it now. You're a very bad person.
Okay, see you guys next part.